Hi everyone, welcome back with us to Somerset Place. We're in the enslaved community near the site of the Sarah Drew Trotter home, which was the 7th slave dwelling lining Lake Phelps. In 1843, it was the home to 7 people. Sarah Drew Trotter, age 49, her 5 children, 30-year-old Simon, 25-year-old Melvin, 19-year-old Lavinia, 16-year-old Serena, and 14-year-old John Davy, as well as Melvin's wife, Zilpha, age 30. Sarah was born to Hannah in 1794, and later began a partnership with John Trotter, the eldest son of Suki Davis. Tragically, John passed away in 1829, around the time when his youngest son was born, and his son was then named after him. 10 years later, John and Sarah's oldest son, Simon, was married to Jenny Harvey, and they had a 1-year-old daughter named Angeline. However, by the time of the 1843 inventory, Jenny had remarried and lived in Edenton, while Angeline lived in cabin number 5 with Jenny's parents. From what we know, Simon did not have any other children. Meanwhile, his younger brother Melvin had married Zilpha by 1839, and they later had one son named Willis. Zilpha was born in Edenton, but was separated from her family when she was sent to Somerset Place as a teenager. Although Melvin worked as a carpenter, it appears that his health affected his productivity because he was documented on the 1840, quote, list of Negroes belonging to the estate of the late Josiah Collins as being, quote, useless from health from the point of view of his enslavers. According to the account books, Melvin was jailed in 1840 and attempted to escape to freedom in 1846. Unfortunately, he was captured and sold the following year. Zilpha later had a son in 1848. The child's father was not documented, and he does not appear on subsequent slave lists. The 1850s proved to be an eventful yet tragic decade for the Trotter family. In 1852, John Davy was accused in a plot to poison the overseer. Josiah Collins III immediately sold 16 enslaved men, women, and children, including John Davy, to a slave trader, and from there they were likely taken to the Deep South. 4 years later, Sarah Drew Trotter passed away. She did not live to see the birth of her namesake granddaughter, who was born to Lavinia and her husband in 1857. The young couple's joy turned into heartbreak when their daughter died 3 years later. Lavinia's younger sister, Serena, also faced joy and heartbreak. Of her 11 children born into slavery, 3 passed away before emancipation. During the Civil War, Simon Trotter was hired out in 1865 to a Reverend F. Fitzgerald for, quote, board and clothing. He and his sisters, Lavinia and Serena, along with his sister-in-law Zilpha, all lived to see emancipation later that year. By that time, Zilpha had remarried to a man who was enslaved on the Pettigrew plantations, although his name was not recorded. Zilpha was last documented on the 1900 census, and it's unknown what happened to Sina, Lavinia, and Serena once they began their new lives in freedom. In our next video, we'll continue our discussion of the enslaved community in 1843. In the meantime, click the subscribe button and ring the bell for a notification of when that's posted, and thanks for tuning in.